What's up everyone, this is Akshay Sipala, and if I can do it, you can do it. So after a whole lot of reading and watching a whole lot of YouTube videos and then having multiple coffee chats to understand the cool new domain of product management, are you still wondering if product management is the right role for you? I totally get you. It's really easy to get stuck in the weeds when getting started in product. And apart from that, there are a whole lot of misconceptions about product management, and this actually makes it even more easy to be more confused. So do you want to understand the ground reality of product management? And do you think it's about time we bust those myths and understand in a better way about product management? If the answer is yes, then this video is for you. And before we start, let's roll that intro. I'm actually glad that you're confused and now that you're even more curious to learn more about product management. If you remember, staying curious is a product manager superpower, remember? So before we romanticize product from a distance, let us now get closer to product and understand the reality of product management by demystifying the top 5 myths. Let's get started. Myth number 1, a product manager is a CEO of a product. This is one of the most often heard and the catchiest one for sure. This makes product management seem super fancy and cool. Like, who doesn't want to be a CEO, right? So this particular statement is right in one way and wrong in the other. Let me explain you why. A product manager owns the entire responsibility of a product. They hold the product vision and they drive teams forward very much like a CEO. But there is a catch. A product manager has to do all of that through influence and not through authority, unlike a CEO, and this changes the equation drastically. Yes, a product manager does not have any sort of formal authority, which means that no team member actually reports to the product manager, and because of that, no one is actually obligated to listen to what a product manager says. Hence, they would have to earn the respect as well as trust from all the team members. And they do that by empathizing with their problems, communicating with them the product vision, and also sharing with them the why for everything. Just to explain this in a fun and easier way, if a CEO asks to jump, the team would say,
"How high should we jump?"
But if a product manager asks to jump, then the team would say,
"Why should I jump? Where should I jump? How do I jump?"
And some might even ask,
"Let's have a meeting to discuss about jumping,"
where some others might even ask
if jumping is actually approved.
See what I'm saying? Though this particular statement is quite right when it comes to the responsibilities of a product manager, it is still a myth. It basically erases all the hard work put in by a product manager to earn their trust as well as respect to influence the people around him or her without authority. So keep in mind, product managers lead teams with their most valuable skill of influencing without authority. Myth number 2, product managers must have a computer science degree because the role is a technical one. This is one myth that I know which is stopping a whole lot of people from starting their product management careers. Let me start by saying the most successful as well as the most admired product people today don't have a computer science degree. So why is there this misconception? I guess it is because product management is very popular within the big techs, and people generally tend to assume that big techs are all about coding. Well, in reality, there are numerous number of people within those companies who haven't written a single line of code till date, but they would have definitely some sort of intersection with technology, but of course it wouldn't be anything related to coding. Wasn't that a relief? Well, there are firms like Google as well as Microsoft that did in the past ask for computer science degrees, but nowadays they're open to people from engineering, business administration, and any sort of degree. In fact, the Google job descriptions for product managers now mentions the requirement of having a technical degree along with an or equivalent practical experience. So basically, there are ways to get into this amazing role and into these amazing companies without a computer science degree. Trust me, I do have people in my network who got into product from chemical engineering and even supply chain management. So you have to hustle. You have to hustle every single day. Now you might be wondering, as these firms are looking for practical experience or a technical degree, does this mean that the role is technical? I get this question asked a lot. Of course, a person working with digital products should love technology, but how much technical should be the actual question here. You already know that they don't have to code, but they would have to work with, motivate, as well as lead development teams to building products, which means that they would have to work closely with engineers as well as designers. If you've seen my previous video about the superpowers of a product manager, you would already know this answer. But let me explain to you in a very short way. A product manager has to speak their language. They have to empathize with them to understand their pain point problems. But apart from that, they would also have to paint the product vision. And all of this wouldn't actually be possible without the baseline understanding of the technology that the development team works with. And remember, in product, you learn about the tech and about all the languages that the stakeholders speak on the job. So you don't have to be a know-it-all, but instead you have to have a learn-it-all mindset, which is in fact another superpower of the product manager. If you want to check out the other superpowers of a product manager, check this video out. Yes, all of this means you can become a product manager without a computer science degree, but with a good understanding of technology. And you know what? You can even become a product manager straight out of college, just like me. Do you want me to make a video about that? If yes, then blow up that like button. Myth number 3, one cannot become a product manager without experience. I know I've already hinted you that this is a myth by saying that you can become a product manager straight out of college, but let me provide you a lot more detail. Just because product manager has the word manager in it, it doesn't mean that you need to have a lot of years of experience to become one. In fact, there are companies like Google, Facebook, Uber that have certain programs that consider people with 0 years of experience. But of course, there's a whole lot of competition and you literally have to earn yourself a spot. Let's talk more about this in another video. I'm sure that you're interested to learn more about this specific topic. Alright. Say that you have experience but not specifically product experience and you really want to transition into product from another role. If that's the case, I'm sure that you already might have heard about the chicken and egg problem that's out there, which is if you want to become a product manager, you have to have product experience, and if you want to have product experience, you first have to get a product manager job. Yes, that is the case because there is no formal education to let people know that you're great at product. So that's why generally product managers who are hiring tend to hire people who already have product experience. So does this mean that you don't have a chance to break into product management? Hear me out. You can break into product without product management experience at work. If you can decode this chicken and egg problem, it is very evident that all that they're looking for is experience and not specifically experience at work. And you can do exactly that. You can build great product experiences all by yourself, and perhaps you might already be working on something that does have product transferable skills, and if you can polish that in a very nice way on your resume, you can showcase your product skill set. Are you wondering how you can create your own product experience? If yes, comment down below. I will definitely help you out with that. So on the whole, what did you understand? That's correct. For you to break into product, all that you need is the drive as well as passion to get into product management. Myth number 4, for product managers, people skills are more important than any other skills. Just because a product manager has to interact with customers day in and day out, has to work with different teams as well as influence all the stakeholders, it doesn't mean that EQ is more important than IQ for a product manager. In fact, both EQ as well as IQ are very important for product management. So people skills are not the only skills that you would need. Being a generalist, you should be able to understand the subject matter experts within all the domains. Say that you're working on a product that has machine learning built into it, then you'd be interacting with that person who deploys those ML models into the product. And if suppose you don't understand when that other person speaks, then you'd definitely be having a tough time influencing that other person, because that other person wouldn't actually listen to you because you don't have credibility on that particular subject. Also, you have to process a lot of information. You'd be meeting million different people every day, right from engineering to marketing to sales to design, and they'll be telling you million different things. So you have to know how to process all of that information. You have to know what parts of that information is important, and you also have to know how to compile all of this information into a story that you'd like to tell other people. Trust me, doing all of this is intellectually very challenging. And it's not just that, you would also have to zoom in and zoom out constantly as well as quickly. Literally in a meeting, you and your team would be discussing about, say, the authentication framework to be implemented on the product. So basically on a engineering level, and within that same meeting, you also have to map that particular framework to the product strategy, because it for sure would have implications for the future of the product. So was I able to convince you that people skills are not the only skills needed for a product manager? Awesome. Myth number 5. A product manager works on high-level strategy and not the details. If you're thinking that,
Hey, I'd be a great product manager because I love looking at the bigger picture and love working on strategy,
then I do have something to tell you. That's awesome that you're really good at high-level strategy, but what about the details? Are you thinking that all the details will be taken care of by the subject matter experts? Well, in a way that's true. The experts for sure would be working on the details, but let me surprise you. Almost 80% of your time as a product manager, you'd be working on product level details. One fine day, you might see a product metric drop, and that's when you really have to get into details to understand why that specific metric dropped. Did it drop for a specific region? What sort of users were they? And even why did that at all happen? Was it because of a national holiday, or was it because of a huge network outage? So that's the level of detail that you have to get to know all the answers for the different questions. Just as mentioned in the earlier myth, product management isn't just about zooming out and working on product strategy. It's also about zooming in and working on product level details. So these are the 5 myths that I wanted to debunk for you. And in a way, I've already debunked the other ones, such as a product manager's job is done after launch, and also product management is same within every company in my earlier product management videos. So make sure that you check them out. I hope with all of this information, I'm able to paint the right as well as the clear picture of product management for you. If I am, then don't forget to smash that like button and click that subscribe button. That's all that I had for this one. I'll see you in the next one, but until then, be kind, stay humble, and keep hustling. Thank you for watching.